Hey people, usually I don't do too many gear reviews or stuff like that on this channel, but today I have something very special for you. Because something we drummers can talk for hours about is, of course, cymbals. And these cymbals actually have a very unique story. They are custom cymbals made especially for me after my own specifications. I want to tell you how they came to me, how they made their way to me, and what we can learn from their journey. And of course, you will hear how they sound. It all started with this pair of hi-hat cymbals. I was a new endorser for Masterwork Cymbals, and they had a huge showroom near Berlin in Germany. And so I was able to pick cymbals from 20,000 cymbals. And these were just lying on the floor, but to be honest, everywhere were cymbals. It was a drummer's dream. And these cymbals lay on the floor, 2 pairs of them. And they told me, oh, please take them. Nobody wants them. And this, of course, made me very interested. And I like the sound. Those are 15-inch fusion cymbals. They look light, but they're actually pretty heavy. Those natural looking cymbals are usually quite thin, but these are pretty thick. So they have this very earthy, raw sound, but still some energy, some power because of their weight. I've used them a lot, also made a few recordings with them, but I always knew that Masterwork, the company, sees itself more as a custom company. So I always had this in the back of my mind to ask them to do some replicas of those. But then I parted ways with the German distributor, so I was not an endorser for Masterwork Cymbals anymore. But I found my way back, and now I have a contract with the company itself. So I don't go over the distributor in Germany. I talk to the factory directly in Turkey. And with this contact, I was able to order actually some fusion custom cymbals. So they asked for pictures. I had to remind them of these cymbals. And then I did something I told you about in my video about how to find the perfect drumstick for you. I did not try to get the perfect cymbals I wanted, but I ordered some extreme cymbals. So from the spectrum, so that I could better estimate where the cymbals I actually wanted were. This does not apply everywhere in life, but I like this idea to check the extremes first, because the extremes inform the mean, but not vice versa. So I ordered an 11-inch splash cymbal, which sounds like this. Also, I ordered this 19-inch, pretty thin, pretty light crash cymbal. And another very special thing, a 20-inch extra thin dry sizzle china. And I played around with these cymbals for some time and I really liked them. To tell you the truth, I was not really satisfied with this sound in the beginning. I thought them very harsh, even though it's pretty mild, pretty warm, the sound generally, but I wanted even warmer. But then I made a recording for a band, a commissioned recording, and it was a very soft pop song with some crescendos on toms and cymbals. And when I listened back, I actually had tears in my eyes because they fit perfectly in the music. Instruments usually show their strength, of course, when you play music, not when you play on their own. You probably know this when you are in the studio and you have a very high-pitched snare ring, for example, which sounds very horrible on its own, but in the music, it just fits perfectly sometimes. And in this case, the cymbals fitted perfectly and was so beautiful, but I kept going. I wanted a crash ride. So I ordered a 20-inch, very light crash ride cymbal. But because of the language barrier, this cymbal arrived not with 1,700 grams, but 2,700 grams. So now I have a very good cymbal, maybe for black metal, for blast beats or other applications, but this is way heavier than I ordered. I mean, it's still a great cymbal and I will definitely use it, and it looks gorgeous, doesn't it? But Masterwork were very kind to send me another one because of the mix-up, and now this is a 21-inch and it's actually a little bit heavier than 1,700 grams, but still very thin. Very flat profile, a hammered bell, and you can see those hammer strokes here give it a little bit a sound that's a bit more washy. And this is pretty much what I had in mind, and it sounds like this. So the cymbals are only as good as the drummer playing on it, of course, but also the application where you use the cymbals. And then they show their strengths and weaknesses. So here are the cymbals in a few different styles. As I said, a musical instrument is not good or bad on its own, by itself, but only as good as the application. So very dry and warm cymbals like these can also be used in a rock or metal setting if you use it in the right moment and for the right purpose. But I do think that these cymbals are perfect for a bit more softer music, warmer tones, maybe blues, jazz, softer pop, but also rock, but maybe not for funk, where you need high-pitched, clear, short sustain. This might not be the perfect application for these cymbals. But one thing is very clear, these are mine, and these are made after my personal specifications. So they're very personal, and they are part of my personal musical voice. And this is one of the benefits of being an endorser, of course. But I don't want to brag. I want to tell you this because of two very important realizations I had. The first one is, as I always say, please think outside the box. Please widen your horizon. I just stumbled upon these in the showroom and I said, wow, when nobody likes these cymbals, they must be very specific. They must be very special. Maybe I can get something out of this. Maybe I can even help reanimate this series. And when you think outside the box, you see many more ways to get what you want, because I parted ways, as I said, with the German distributor, but that just kicked open the door for the possibility to have the direct contact with the factory. So the second thing is, don't just think outside the box, but also always be proactive. So look for ways the others aren't going and be the first one to go there. The one who is finding the path is controlling its direction. And the second thing is, there are two different mindsets. The one is the planning mindset, and the other one is the optimization mindset. The first one says that you need to plan ahead. If you want things to go perfectly, you need to plan perfectly. But the other mindset says, correcting the course is inevitable. Why don't you just start right away and start correcting the course right away? And of course, in different circumstances in life, you need the one or the other mindset, but more often than not, you need the optimization mindset, but you are trying the planning mindset. I quickly realized that I was not able to plan the perfect cymbal, to match exactly the weight, exactly the taper, the size of the bell, anything, all the parameters. But I just took a wild guess and then moved on from there. And I mean, in the end, after just 3 steps, I have a pretty great crash ride cymbal, but I will keep on going. I keep working together with Masterwork Cymbals, and who knows where we will end up. Maybe you can someday even buy these in the store. I hope so. But at the moment, it's just testing, trying, optimizing. And I mean, that's actually what you do when you practice. You don't wait and plan in your head to play the perfect tune or the perfect groove, but you just start, you try, you realize your mistakes, you try to correct them, course correcting all the way. And I think we should more often use this mindset in life. As I said, you need planning when the situation is asking for planning, for exact planning. And I think we should be more courageous in life to make mistakes, to just start and accept that mistakes will happen, and the sooner the better, because the mistake would have happened anyway, but the sooner the better. The sooner it happens, the sooner you can correct it. So this is the story of my custom cymbals as an endorser for Masterwork Cymbals. If you want to learn more about being an endorser, how to become an endorser, please check out these 2 videos, because that's what they are all about. Hope to see you in the next video next Thursday. Until then, take care and bye-bye.